The briefing room smelled like burnt coffee and cold steel. Maps glowed on the wall. Red lines crept across desert terrain. Boots scraped. Chairs shifted. No one spoke until the Admiral laughed. A sharp laugh. Too loud. "Night Fox," he said. He rolled the name in his mouth like a joke. A few officers smiled out of reflex. She did not. She stood at the back of the room. Helmet tucked under her arm. Gloves worn thin at the fingers. Her pulse stayed slow. Years had trained it that way. The Admiral glanced at her file. Female. Civilian background. Too many confirmed kills for comfort. "Cute call sign," he said. "Sounds like a comic book." The room warmed with nervous heat. Someone coughed. She smelled the oil on her rifle case. Familiar. Grounding. She remembered snow crunching under her cheek in the Hindu Kush. The way breath fogged a scope. The sound a body makes when it drops. Not loud. Final. The Admiral kept talking. "Command wants discipline, not legends. Snipers don't run the room." Her jaw tightened. Not from anger. From memory. She had followed orders that burned villages. She had broken orders to save children. Both stayed with her. The projector hummed. A target photo filled the wall. High value. Surrounded by civilians. The Admiral tapped the screen. "We take the shot at dawn. Rules are clear. No deviation." Her hand flexed inside the glove. The fabric rasped against skin. She felt every scar beneath it. She spoke calmly. "The wind shifts at first light. The angle puts the market behind him." A few heads turned. The Admiral frowned. "This isn't your call, Night Fox." He said the name again. Slower. Sharper. Mockery wrapped in authority. Silence stretched. Thick. Heavy. Her heartbeat thudded once. Then she stepped forward. Boots firm on the floor. Eyes steady. "I won't take that shot," she said. The room went cold. The Admiral's face hardened. "That's insubordination." The briefing room smelled like burnt coffee and cold steel. Maps glowed on the wall. Red lines crept across desert terrain. Boots scraped. Chairs shifted. No one spoke until the Admiral laughed. A sharp laugh. Too loud. "Night Fox," he said. He rolled the name in his mouth like a joke. A few officers smiled out of reflex. She did not. She stood at the back of the room. Helmet tucked under her arm. Gloves worn thin at the fingers. Her pulse stayed slow. Years had trained it that way. The Admiral glanced at her file. Female. Civilian background. Too many confirmed kills for comfort. "Cute call sign," he said. "Sounds like a comic book." The room warmed with nervous heat. Someone coughed. She smelled the oil on her rifle case. Familiar. Grounding. She remembered snow crunching under her cheek in the Hindu Kush. The way breath fogged a scope. The sound a body makes when it drops. Not loud. Final. The Admiral kept talking. "Command wants discipline, not legends. Snipers don't run the room." Her jaw tightened. Not from anger. From memory. She had followed orders that burned villages. She had broken orders to save children. Both stayed with her. The projector hummed. A target photo filled the wall. High value. Surrounded by civilians. The Admiral tapped the screen. "We take the shot at dawn. Rules are clear. No deviation." Her hand flexed inside the glove. The fabric rasped against skin. She felt every scar beneath it. She spoke calmly. "The wind shifts at first light. The angle puts the market behind him." A few heads turned. The Admiral frowned. "This isn't your call, Night Fox." He said the name again. Slower. Sharper. Mockery wrapped in authority. Silence stretched. Thick. Heavy. Her heartbeat thudded once. Then she stepped forward, boots firm on the floor, eyes steady. "I won't take that shot," she said. The room went cold. The Admiral's face hardened. "That's insubordination." She slowly removed the earpiece, set it on the table between them. Her hands were steady. Too steady. The Admiral swallowed. Outside, helicopters roared to life. She picked up her rifle case. The latch clicked open. Metal whispered against foam. She looked back at the room. At the men who had doubted her. At the man who mocked her name. "Night Fox out," she said. The rifle rested across the table. Black. Unmarked. Heavy with silence. The Admiral didn't speak. Couldn't. His mouth hung open like he had missed a step in the dark. Someone whispered, "Did she fire?" No answer came. Only the low hum of the lights. She felt the room watching her, measuring her, judging a ghost. Her palms tingled. Recoil memory. The smell of hot metal clung to her senses. Real. Too real. The Admiral finally found his voice. "What did you do?" She met his eyes. And for the first time, there was something there. Not anger. Not defiance. Grief. "I ended a war for one street," she said. "Nothing more." A junior officer checked his tablet. His face drained of color. "Targets down," he whispered. "No civilian casualties reported." The words fell like glass. Beautiful. Dangerous. The Admiral exhaled hard. The sound cracked. "You disobey direct command." "Yes." Her reply was immediate. She remembered the wind. The precise moment it died. The trigger breaking like a thought she couldn't stop. The Admiral straightened his uniform. Authority settling back onto his shoulders. "You will answer for this." She nodded. "I always do." Outside, rotors thundered closer. The building trembled. Dust shook loose from the ceiling. Her comm unit buzzed once. A private channel. Encrypted. Old. The kind only legends knew. She didn't look at it. Didn't have to. Her pulse finally quickened. Not from fear. From recognition. The Admiral watched her turn toward the door. Guards moved into position. Hands near weapons. Uncertain. "Night Fox," he said again. This time, no laughter followed. She paused. Felt the weight of every eye. Every unasked question. Every consequence rushing forward. Then, the secure channel spoke aloud on its own. One sentence. Low. Grave. "We need her." The room seemed to shrink around those words. Guards hesitated. Hands hovering. Unsure who they were meant to protect now. The Admiral turned toward the ceiling speakers. "Identify yourself," he demanded. The voice answered without urgency. "You know who this is." A chill slid down her spine. Not fear. Recognition. A command voice buried in old missions. Lost files. Redacted names. The Admiral's jaw tightened. "This operative is under my authority." Silence answered him. Heavy. Deliberate. Then the voice returned. "She never was." Her fingers curled slowly. She felt the table edge beneath her skin. Cold. Real. A memory surfaced. Being handed a rifle without insignia. Being told some wars don't exist on paper. The Admiral's eyes flicked to her. For the first time, uncertainty cracked his certainty. "What did you activate?" he asked her quietly. She shook her head once. "I didn't." The speakers clicked. "Admiral," the voice said, calm as winter. "Step aside." Outside, the rotor stopped. Abrupt. Wrong. The building fell into an unnatural stillness. No wind. No engines. Just breath and heartbeat. The lights dimmed slightly. Emergency power. Someone whispered a prayer. She adjusted her stance. Balanced. Ready. The Admiral took a step back. Then another. His rank suddenly felt thin. Fragile. Her comm unit buzzed again. This time, she looked down. A single line of text glowed. Coordinates. Close. Too close. She lifted her gaze toward the sealed doors. Steel groaned softly, like something heavy leaning in from the other side. Her pulse finally roared in her ears. Not from guilt. Not from pride. From knowing the hunt had just turned. The steel doors shuddered once. Then stilled, as if reconsidering. Every rifle in the room came up a fraction. Not aimed. Waiting. She tasted copper on her tongue. Adrenaline. Old and familiar. The coordinates burned in her mind. Basement level. Black site depth. A place that didn't exist. The Admiral whispered, "What's down there?" She didn't answer, because she didn't know who was listening. The speakers crackled again. "Night Fox," the voice said. Softer now. Almost human. "You remember the rules." Her shoulders tightened. She remembered all of them, especially the ones never written down. If they call you by name, the mission has already gone wrong. The lights flickered. Once. Twice. Then steadied. The doors unlocked with a heavy click. Metal bolts sliding free. Slow. Deliberate. Air pushed in from the corridor. Cold. Sterile. It smelled like ozone and gun oil. She shifted her weight. Heel to toe. Perfect balance. Behind her, someone whispered her call sign. Not mocking. Not loud. Almost like a plea. She didn't turn around. The voice spoke one last time. "Choose carefully." The doors began to open. Just an inch. Enough to see darkness breathing on the other side. Her hand moved toward her rifle. Not fast. Not slow. Certain. And in that narrowing moment, before the doors revealed what waited for her, she wondered who the command was really afraid of now. The darkness spilled across the floor. Thick. Intentional. Not empty. She felt it watching back. Her fingers wrapped the rifle grip. Warm. Familiar. Alive. The Admiral swallowed behind her. The sound echoed too loud. She stepped forward. One pace. The floor vibrated faintly. Machinery below. Breathing metal. The voice did not return. That scared her more than threats. A red light blinked once inside the corridor. Then died. She caught a scent beneath the ozone. Human sweat. Fear. Fresh. Someone was down there. Waiting. Or being waited for. Her comm unit vibrated again. No message this time. Just a signal. A summons. She remembered the first time she earned the name Night Fox. No witnesses. No medals. Just silence where chaos had been. Behind her, weapons lowered. Not by order. By instinct. The Admiral whispered, barely audible. "If you walk through that door." She paused. Not to listen, but to decide what part of herself crossed the line. The door opened wider. Darkness rolled outward like a held breath released. She stepped into it, and the door began to close behind her. The door sealed with a muted thud. Sound died instantly. No echo. No hum. Just her breathing inside the helmet. Slow. Measured. The corridor swallowed light after 3 steps. Her boots brushed concrete slick with condensation. Cold soaked through the soles. She felt it in her bones. A faint glow bloomed ahead. Red. Emergency strips along the floor. They pulsed like a weak heartbeat. She followed them down. Past numbered doors with no labels. Past cameras that tracked her without sound. She smelled antiseptic. Old blood beneath it. Scrubbed. Never fully erased. A memory surfaced uninvited. A room like this. A man begging in 3 languages. Orders whispered through a wire. Her jaw tightened. She pushed it down. Focus was survival. The corridor opened into a wide chamber. Too wide. Too deliberate. Glass walls rose on both sides. Behind them, shadows shifted. Human shapes. Restrained. Breathing. Her chest tightened. Not panic. Rage. A single chair sat in the center. Metal. Bolted to the floor. A light snapped on above it. White. Blinding. She raised her rifle by instinct. A calm voice spoke from everywhere. You were never meant to see this. Her finger rested on the trigger. Pressure waiting. Neither were they, she said. Silence answered her. Then a screen flickered to life across the far wall. Live feeds. Cities. Crowds. Unaware. The voice softened. We kept the world quiet. Her pulse thundered now. She tasted iron. How? She asked. The chair began to hum. Low. Powerful. Behind the glass, someone screamed. Cut short. Clean. She took one step back. Then stopped. Because the screen shifted again. And showed her face. Live. Tracked. Labeled. Asset status, active. Her breath caught. For the first time in years. And somewhere deep in the facility, locks began to disengage. The locks clicked in sequence. Sharp. Methodical. Too many. Too close. She turned slowly. Counted exits. 2 doors. Neither marked. Both armed. The glass cells hissed. Seals loosening. The air filled with a low tremor. Like a storm held underground. Her rifle came up. Not shaking. Never shaking. The voice returned. Closer now. Almost intimate. You were always the control. Her reflection stared back from the glass. Distorted. Broken into angles. I was the trigger, she said. And triggers get pulled. A laugh slipped through the speakers. Dry. Tired. Only once. A door slid open behind the glass. A figure stumbled forward. Barefoot. Shaking. Eyes too alert for someone rescued. They looked at her. Recognition flashed. Hope died just as fast. Don't, the figure whispered. Her chest tightened hard. The hum from the chair deepened. The screens flickered again. Targets blinking alive across the map. All waiting. All tied to her. The voice spoke one final time. If you walk away, they die. Her finger tightened on the trigger. Not enough to fire. Enough to feel the truth. And the lights went out. Darkness crushed down. Total. Absolute. Her ears filled with the sound of her own blood. Rushing. Demanding. Night vision snapped on. Green shadows leapt into shape. The chamber breathed. Cells fully open now. Figures moving. Not running. Advancing. Too coordinated. Her mind clicked into place. They weren't prisoners. They were assets. Broken. Rebuilt. Waiting for a signal. The chair in the center surged with power. Cables glowed faintly. She smelled burning insulation. And something else. Human hair. Fierce sweat soaked into concrete. A figure stepped into her view. Tall. Familiar posture. Military trained. Eyes locked on her like a mirror. The voice came again. Not from the speakers. From the dark. You taught them how to aim, it said. Her chest went hollow. No, she whispered. The figure raised a weapon. Not at her. At the exit behind her. Red targeting dots bloomed on her chest. 3. 4. 6. Her finger rested on the trigger. Her breath slowed. Old instincts screaming. New truth burning hotter. The chair screamed. Metal tearing. Systems overloading. Somewhere above, alarms began again. This time frantic. Uncontrolled. She realized then. This wasn't about obedience. Or command. Or even war. It was about replacing her. The figure spoke softly. "We were told you'd hesitate." She adjusted her stance. Chose her angle. And wondered if Night Fox was about to be erased. Her breath slipped out slow. Silent. A hunter's breath. She tilted the rifle a fraction. Just enough. The red dots tracked her. Learning. Adapting. The figure's finger tightened. She saw it in the knuckle. The smallest tell. The kind only killers notice. Her mind split cleanly in two. One side counting angles. The other drowning in memory. Teaching stances in the rain. Correcting grips with calm hands. Never asking names. The chair tore free from the floor. Bolts screamed as they snapped. Sparks rained down like hot insects. The hum became a howl. The glass cells began to crack. Spiderweb fractures racing outward. Someone sobbed. Someone laughed. She couldn't tell which was worse. The figure stepped closer. Boots echoing. Confident. Too confident. "You're obsolete," he said. Not cruel. Just factual. Her jaw clenched. "Then why are you shaking?" His eyes flicked down. Just once. She fired. Not at him. At the cable feeding the chair. Light exploded. The blast punched the air from her lungs. Heat rolled over her face. The red dots vanished. Screams replaced them. Systems failed all at once. Too fast. Too loud. She hit the floor hard. Concrete slammed into her shoulder. Pain flared bright and sharp. Good. Pain meant alive. Through the smoke she rolled. Came up on one knee. Rifle searching. Shapes staggered in the haze. No coordination now. Just chaos. Human again. Her calm crackled. The Admiral's voice. Raw. Panicked. "What did you do?" She wiped blood from her lip. Tasted iron and ash. "I broke your silence," she said. Heavy footsteps thundered from the corridor. Multiple teams. Unknown loyalties. The lights flickered back on. Half power. Enough to see the figure retreating into shadow. He turned once. Smiled. And sealed a door between them. Lock slammed shut. Thicker than before. She stood alone in the wreckage. Smoke curling around her boots. Rifle nearly empty. Hard hammering now. Not from fear. From what she had just started. Somewhere deep in the facility. A countdown began. The countdown echoed through the chamber. Not loud. Certain. She checked the numbers once. Did not memorize them. She already knew what they meant. Detonation wasn't the threat. Exposure was. Data bleeding upward. Secrets clawing toward daylight. She keyed her rifle safe. The click sounded final. Around her, survivors stirred. Not assets now. Just people. Confused. Terrified. Alive. She moved fast. Cut restraints. Pulled doors open. Spoke softly. Human words. Not commands. Above them, the facility groaned. Old concrete protesting truth. Her calm buzzed again. The Admiral's voice came through quieter. Smaller. "What happens now?" She paused. Looked at the shattered glass. At the screen's flickering civilian faces. Unaware. For now. "Now!" she said. "You answer for what you built." Silence followed. Not defiance. Acceptance. She guided the last survivor toward the corridor. Emergency lights painted them red. Then white. Then daylight spilled in ahead. Real. Unfiltered. She stepped out last. The air smelled like dust and pine. Morning had come anyway. Helicopters hovered at a distance. Weapons lowered, waiting for instruction. She removed her helmet. Let the wind touch her face. Cold. Clean. Behind her, alarms faded into sirens. Then into noise. Then into history. Someone asked her name. She thought about it. Just for a moment. Then walked forward into the light, leaving the call sign behind.